The book is
Mm-hmm.
called Recommitted. It's not too late.
Yes.
Explain the title and what inspired you to write the book.
Okay, so Recommitted, it's not too late. Back in 2009, I was praying and just, having a little talk with God, and the title Recommitted, it's not too late, came to me. I wrote it down in a journal and left it. About a year later, I came across that journal and was like, wow, you know what, maybe I should just start writing. Never thought I could be an author or write a book, but just started writing. And really what Recommitted is all about, it's me sharing and being transparent about my personal struggles with sex, with unhealthy relationships, with insecurities, and my relationship with God. And so it's me just being open, transparent. In 2008, May 12, 2008, I found myself at a crisis pregnancy center at a place of brokenness. And it was then that I recommitted to waiting to have sex until marriage, to start over, to really start taking ownership over my own body and taking back my self-esteem and relearning who God said I was, and just reestablishing a relationship with Him, an intimate relationship that was much more than just going to church or reading my Bible, but a genuine, deep relationship. And it was through that intimacy, through that love, through that experience that I really started to grow in a new way and learn a lot more about myself, started to respect myself a lot more, and to make healthier decisions as it pertained to sex and relationships and how I dealt with men. So that's really what Recommitted is about. It's about recommitting to relationship with God. It's about women taking back sort of the power over their own bodies and making healthy decisions when it comes to their emotional, physical, spiritual, and sexual health. And I think that's something that's really important and something that a lot of us women need. And I don't mean to be too long-winded, but when I was traveling as Miss Black USA, I had a lot of women that would open up to me about things that they're struggling with. And I would begin to share my stories, and they're like, what? I wouldn't think that you went through this because you're Miss Black USA.
Right.
And I found that there was so much power in being transparent and sharing those stories. And so Recommitted is really me sharing my story to other women and encouraging them to, one, establish or reestablish a relationship with God, and two, to really start honoring their bodies, respecting themselves, and making healthier decisions, because we only have one body. And I think a lot of times we allow other people to dictate what we should do with that body, or how we should treat it, or what happens to us. And it's time to start taking ownership over that and truly loving ourselves and valuing ourselves for who we are, which is far more than our beauty or our body parts.
Okay.
So that's Recommitted.
Now we've discussed people going from party person to abstinence on this show before. And, of course, it's not something meant favorably by the guys. It's very unpopular with us.
Right.
And I definitely won't get into the discussion of that, because that would be another hour of the show. But because we talked about this a couple weeks ago. But what brought you to this decision? And does it – well, I guess you kind of explained how it benefits you as far as how it helps you spiritually and everything. But does it make it difficult to date? And also, how difficult was the decision to actually do it, to actually go through it and stay committed to it?
Right. I love that question. And I think and I completely want to be transparent. It is. I'm still on that journey, and to be honest, Q, when I was in that bathroom, May 12, 2008, I was crying. I was before God. I was broken, and I told God, I said, "Look, I know what I need to do, but I don't even know if I can make it a day. So I'm gonna need your intervention and extra grace to get through this thing, because I'm sitting here like it's been 5 years. And I didn't think I was going to make it past the day. And so it is a difficult journey. there are times when it is very, very challenging. And I share about that in my book, and I share about some things that I did and things that I put in place, like having accountability partners, girlfriends that I could be real with to say, look, right now it's just struggling. If you don't pray with me or come over here, something's going down. So, being real and establishing those accountability partners and having boundaries. And with dating, it's interesting you bring that up because I know that was my fear, and I'm very transparent. My fear was, well, are men even going to wait? Is the guy going to be interested in me? Or once I get into a relationship, is that guy going to stay, quote-unquote, faithful, or is he going to look for sex elsewhere since he's not going to be getting it from me?
Right.
And those are real concerns that I had, and even sometimes they still come across my way. But I came to a point, Q, and this is for the people listening, where my experience that I've had over the past 5 years of just going deeper in my relationship with God and just realizing my value, that I vowed to myself, and, I am in a relationship right now, and the gentleman knows this, and I have a lot of respect for him, because technically once you get in a relationship, that person's on this journey with you.
Right,
okay?
right.
And it's not easy, and it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. And I made a vow to myself, and I said, you know what? I was out there, and I was giving my everything to men in my previous relationships, and that still didn't stop them from cheating or going elsewhere. And I still felt broken at the end of the day. I vowed not to do that again. I said, you know what? I'm not going to allow the thought of or the fear of my man cheating on me or feeling insufficient in some way, or I'm not giving part of myself up to be the reason why I cave in. If, and God forbid, if I were to fall, it would be because, okay, I didn't flee the temptation and woof,
right.
It was just too much.
Right.
But not because I was fearful of that man stepping out and cheating. And what I found is, and I'm not a man, so again, but from my personal experience, what I found is that it helped me weed out sort of some men that weren't that serious.
Uh-huh.
It helped me look at them in a different light, because sometimes, and ladies know this, when you start having sex with a man, you let a lot of things pass by and you get to tripping. But it allowed me to see sort of that character of that man, to see his heart, and to build a different level of communication and relationship and intimacy that didn't involve my body, that sometimes gets lost, most of the time gets lost, when we as women just go straight into having sex and giving up ourselves in relationships. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's... No,
I think you made a key point when you said if something does happen, it's not because you felt inadequate or you're trying to keep someone, and I think that's what's important, because I think that's why a lot of guys don't take certain people seriously, because it's like, it's kind of like the on again, off again thing, but, and so I think what you said there is very important, is if you're doing it, if it happens, don't let it be for the reason that you're trying to keep someone.
Right.
So I think that's very important.
And a lot of times we do that. I mean, we feel the pressure. I need to keep this, but I need to satisfy my go elsewhere. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, he's going to do what he's going to do.
Right.
And we'll still left being broken if we keep giving ourselves away because of that. And I think you do. And you're a man, but I think, like you said, there's a level of respect that comes with that. Like, wow, I can respect this woman, that she's not going to just give me what I want just because I want that, or she's fearful of losing me. So. Okay.
Still not going to be popular with the guys, but it's respected.
Yeah, not popular with the guys, but hey.
We
gotta
get
work with us. Work with us.
We get it.
Work with us.
All right.
Step
so
game up a little bit.
Where can we get the book?
Okay, so the book is not officially launched yet, and I am going through a whole sort of rebranding and getting a new website done. But it will be available on my website, and I'll keep you posted, Q.
Please do.
Once I have my new website up. But it will be available online and through Amazon and through my website. And I'll actually be launching my book and going on speaking tours. And so if I'm in the city near you, or if you know any ministries or any youth programs or any conferences or anything, and I'm speaking to you listeners, that you feel this would be something that they'd be interested in, me coming and speaking and sharing, I am definitely very open to that and would bring my books with me for those different occasions.
Okay. So. Most definitely, I'll keep that in mind. I'm sure the listeners will as well. Now, in the meantime, we can get information on your website at CeliMarieDane.com.
Yes, and that will be live, and the new website will be up in about a couple weeks. But I'll definitely update you on that so you can update your listeners. But that's where a lot of the updates will be coming from. And I try to also keep y'all posted on Twitter at Celi M, and also on my Facebook fan page, which is CMD.
All right. Well, I will throw the website and Twitter addresses into the chat room, and that is CeliMarieDean.com.
You got it.
Celi, it has been an honor and a pleasure for you to join the Talk to Q radio show tonight. Let me give you a little round of applause there. By the way, I have relatives in St. Paul, so I'm familiar with the Twin Cities.
Okay.
I haven't been there in about 10 years, so we'll try to get up there next year to visit my cousin, but it won't be during the winter, I can assure you that.
Oh, yes. Well, if I'm here and you're here, let us know.
Okay. Most definitely will. And again, I appreciate you coming on to the show. Now, I also saw that you secretly dreamed of being on Dancing with the Stars someday. So hopefully you have your agent working on that.
I do. That's one of my secret. Well, not so secret anymore, but I love that show.
Okay. That might be the only way I watch it, if I know someone who's on it. So.
Right. Who knows? You never know, right? I spoke it when I was 8, Miss Black USA. Maybe one day you'll see me on Dancing with the Stars.
Exactly. So it could happen. But I do appreciate you coming on. And like I said, just keep me posted on everything else.
I will, and thank you so much for having me. Thank you to all of you who chimed in with your questions and for listening. And just in closing, especially to my women, I just want to remind you that you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are loved. And thank you so much for having me again.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. All right. That's Miss CMD, everyone. Celi Marie Dane, former Miss Black USA 2005, and soon-to-be author. All right. 347-202-0215 is the number on the Talk to Q radio show. We'll get into a couple of current event topics before we get ready to shut things down for the evening. And I'll go ahead and we'll get into that. Now, let's talk about genetically engineered food, okay? This has been in the news as of late. And a genetically engineered food is a plant or meat product that has literally had its DNA scientifically and artificially adjusted by genes from other plants, animals, viruses, etc., to create foreign compounds in that food. For example, genetically modified corn has been engineered in a laboratory to make pesticides within its own tissue. Okay, so you have corn with built-in pesticide. Now, the corn is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency as an insecticide, but it's sold unlabeled. So you don't know that the corn that you're eating has built-in pesticide. And currently, genetically modified foods don't have to be labeled. In 1992, the FDA stated that there doesn't appear to be any difference in GMOs, what they call genetically modified organisms, and organically raised foods. Do we reserve the right to know what we're eating? Now, there are GMO bans in over 60 countries, but in the U.S. and Canada, that's not the case. Even China, which, produces poisonous toys for our kids to play with in the U.S., even they label their GMOs. All right. Now, California is looking to be the first to require labeling on foods with their Prop 37 that's going to be voted on. And that's what's so tripped out about it. They're not asking that the food is banned. They just want it labeled. and GMOs can actually have the word